even in your frustration, you got to be respectful in your communication.
Yeah.
Because that's just going to compound the problem. If you come in hot-headed, if you come in hot. And so you still got to be respectful, even in the frustration. But over-communication will get you where you're going, where you need to go. But you got to be respectful in it.
Yep.
This is the B-side, B-side, B-side. The marriage. This is the B-side, B-side, B-side. The marriage.
Hi, and welcome to another episode of the B-Side of Marriage podcast. I'm your host, Rashonda. This is my husband and co-host,
Jason. You do it.
And here at the B-Side, we talk about everything related to marriage. The good, the bad, the real, the A, and the B-Side. This is just going to be one of those kind of episodes, y'all. So if you're watching on YouTube, please be sure to rate, comment, review, subscribe, all the things. And if you're listening on any of our audio platforms, please be sure to do the same.
As well, follow us on Facebook at The B-Side of Marriage and on Instagram at B-Side of Marriage.
Yes, and let's get into it. It's been a minute since we recorded.
Yes.
But although you guys have seen some episodes.
Yes.
But anyways, so welcome back to us and to how this goes. So the first segment we like to start off with is where we share an A or B side moment from our week. This is either a positive or or more of a reality part of life. And because I introduced the segment, Jay has to go first.
All right, so I guess mine is an A-side. It's an A-side moment. As we said, probably early on in the season that I was coaching. So, I have a basketball team and a soccer team, basketball team. Every week they was progressing, but there was still that one little thing that was missing. And everybody makes it to the playoffs, so during the playoffs, they came to play. Like, it was totally different team. Like, it all came together finally. They won their first game. Yes. Then we made it to the semis and lost by 3 points. We won, but I'm gonna blame myself on one. I made a bad call because I was arguing with the refs so much because they wasn't calling anything, and I just got fed up and I told them to line up on the wrong side, and they scored real quick. So I think that. I know that was something that defeated them, but like I said, it was A-side for me,
A-side with a dash of B.
Yeah, okay, yeah. With a sprinkle. Yeah, I'm sorry, with a sprinkle of B, because like I said, they played their heart out.
No,
they really did. Like they came to play. That's all I can say. And they was aggressive. They was getting rebounds. They was like fighting for balls. Like it was good. So. What about you?
I'm going to go A. I'm trying to figure out if I was going to piggyback off of that one or not. I am, but that's not going to be my A. So I'm going to piggyback. I will say basketball season has been a challenge this season. But the boys they pulled it out toward the end. It all came together. They were a completely different team in the playoffs. I want to say an A-side is that my A-side would be that I branched out and we made new couple friends.
Oh, I was like, where's she going with that? Okay.
We made new couple friends who had a son on the basketball team. Mm-hmm. And so that is saying a lot because I'm good on the friend tip.
Yeah.
But this couple's really cool and they have a very similar mentality as we do, so it's easy to kind of hang out and let the kids get along well with each other. So that's great. And then also too, I was gonna say that we Something that I miss doing is like really like hosting. We hadn't really been hosting anything.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And my A side is the fact that my husband, even though things are bananas for us, has accepted and kind of like joined in on all the craziness that has happened. We've literally hosted something every weekend for the last 3 weekends. Mm-hmm. And that's a lot because of the way we host. Yeah. We are team too much, but it's so funny because I'll be team too much in one thing and then he'll be like, oh, well, and he'll jump and be team too much on the other thing.
You got to talk about your A side. Don't try to bring me in.
But it is true. So, prime example. Let's give an example to the people, okay?
Goodness.
So, throwing a birthday party for a person who just recently moved into the area. So, not around family, whatever. So, I'm like, oh, we should do this, this, and this. And we just got a Blackstone. Haven't really used it because the weather's been crazy. But I was like, yeah, maybe we'll, buy some meat or whatever and you just put on the Blackstone, whatever. So then, literally the morning of, we're waking up. He's like, well, what's the game plan for today? And we talk about that. And he's like, all right, you need anything from Target? I'm like, no, that's random. He has ordered, because we were going to do street tacos. So he has ordered this holder so that he can go ahead, cook the stuff out at the grill and just put them in the holder and then bring them in so people can like pick up with it. I said,
because you can put it right on the Blackstone. You put these iron things right on the Blackstone. You get your tortillas, you fold them, just put them in there. You gotta just scoop up.
Team too much.
It made it real easy. I was like, made tacos, brought them aside. Everybody ate those. Came out, make some more. It made it easier instead of having to, put them in a bowl and fold them up. Like it made them just right.
I just want the record to reflect he is team too much because I was not trying to go find that. Like, it would have been fine.
But it was good. Everything was good.
I mean, everything was delicious, but I'm just saying, just doing way too much. So anyways, so the fact that he kind of just joined in all the craziness, but I'm tired, but...
Yeah, we
got one more. Well, by the time this airs, we would have finished.
Yes, we would have finished.
We would have finished all of the May duties where we're hosting.
Yeah.
And May has been a very busy month.
And then sports will be over, so then we get to sleep in on the weekends.
Yes. Playoffs will be over.
Yep.
And yeah, we got one more week of that. Yeah. So, I mean, the great thing is the kids are doing well.
Oh, yeah.
They love the sports that they're in. Yep. The weather is not cooperating. But here in Texas, it's literally been raining.
It's either a storm, raining, or it's hot.
Exactly.
That's what you get.
Yeah, but there was that one random day it was cold.
That is true. It
and
really
so this
was.
Was it.
It was just really, it didn't make no sense.
Anywho, but yeah, so that's my A side.
Okay, so our second segment is a P2P share, where we share something we listen to, reading, or watching. Uh-huh. So what you got?
I don't have much. So this is a funny thing. I'm in school, like I'm in the middle of my school semester right now, school quarter. So I can't really watch TV. I can't really read. I can't really do anything but kind of maybe podcasting. I've been able to listen to my podcast pretty consistently. But my P2P share is really sleep and putting your phone, like setting your phone to where there's a do not disturb or a sleep timer, like where will remind you to go to sleep at a certain time. This goes into what we're talking about today, but it's really around... You need to set boundaries around your time, and you cannot be beneficial, like you cannot be productive to yourself, to your family, to anyone if you're tired. So you have to get sleep. I know a lot of people say, "Oh, I'll sleep when I'm dead." Well, I don't want to be that way. Because I want to be alive and I want to be coherent in the present while I'm here. And sleep is so important to that. So that is my P2P share. Put that do not disturb on your phone. Do the dark, because we were just talking about this the other night about
Dark
automatically
mode.
setting your phone and your computer to the dark setting so that your body can literally know, oh, we're shutting down so that we can go to sleep on time.
Yeah.
So that's mine.
Okay. I don't know if I want to say mine now because you serious about.
I'm not. I'm just
sleep
tired.
All right, so mine is like if you don't have it already, you should get it. It's the Kevin Stage app, and they have a game show called Give Me Five, and basically the premise is they're giving you a topic and you gotta pick your top 5 out of those, and what I mean is it's like, for instance, like for me, this is stuff that, growing up, me and my friends, my close friends, we always talk about, the top 5 R&B groups. So you have to get your top 5, and the way it goes is it's a snake draft. So it's not, so you'll go one way and then go the other way, and then you can actually, what is it? Oh, you can challenge somebody else. So somebody else says, no, I want that one, they're gonna challenge you. So you gotta do something to say, I know that artist better, or whatever the thing is. It's like I said, it's funny, it's hilarious.
Yeah, I haven't watched it.
It's good though, because it makes you think. It's like, for me, it's like, the different topics that they had. It was 5 R&B groups. Then it's 5 black actors, 5 female MCs, 5 R&B vocalists. So they have different ones so it made me think what would be my 5? And so it was just interesting. It's hilarious too.
Yeah.
So, but that's something. Like I said, sometimes you just need to laugh, and that's
No,
what it
you
is,
definitely
so.
need to laugh. It's just that, I will have to catch up on that during the break.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, but no, that's good.
So what are we talking about?
Man, okay. So I apologize in advance for yawning, because, like I said, I want to reiterate how tired I am, because we're talking about how you have a plan and you have expectations of what a certain season or whatever, or a relationship is going to be like, and then it being the complete opposite. And still being able to find connection and meaning in that when things don't go according to your plan.
Okay. That's something. I just did a post about that. That's still okay.
Yeah, well, yes.
I just did a post about that.
No, this is literally our life.
Okay,
This is our life, because I don't know if you're just joining us, check out I think it was the season premiere of season 3, where we were talking about our word of the year.
Yeah.
And at the time, it was intentionality. I ain't gonna be able to talk. I see.
Go ahead.
But being intentional.
Yeah.
And it was really strange that was the word, because at that time we felt like we were being intentional, and we were like, oh, well, we're already been intentional with maintaining connection with each other, with staying building our relationship with God, being intentional with the kids, because we were just at that point of life, we were both working from home.
Yeah.
And it was just it was different. So I was I found it very strange that would be the word that was placed on both of our hearts at that time.
Yeah.
But it was preparing us for a season such as this. When I say we're in the thick of it, we are in the thick of it. And what I'm finding to be really crazy about this season that we're in is that we were preparing ourselves to have a year. We were like, this is going to be a tough year. Yeah. We're going to just stick it out and we're going to do it. But man, these first, we didn't really know what that meant.
Yeah.
We had an expectation of what this busy season was going to look like. And it has been a complete opposite.
Yeah.
It has been a complete opposite. So just from like a logistical standpoint.
Oh. Okay.
I felt like literally everything is so scheduled. Like, right. And it's so funny because I'm a planner, right? So I like schedules. I like schedules, to-do lists. So I was just like, oh, everything's scheduled. But everything is so tightly scheduled that if anything has to change, it creates a domino effect.
Yeah.
So then it's like, oh, well, the kids are, like we're picking, like we coordinated school pickups, and then we have like basketball practice, soccer practice, and internship and supervision and whatever. And so we have all things. But if something like shifts or changes, literally it's like, okay, so it topples into the next thing. And like, okay, well, now I need you to do this. I know we agreed on this. Yeah. Literally, we agreed like a couple hours before, and now that's not the same.
Correct.
And so in this season, I never expected me to have to rely so much on my husband, to be fair. I've never expected for me to have to rely on you on so many things. And for our time together to not be like what it was.
Correct.
Because I felt like there were certain things that we said we were going to always stick to.
Correct.
Even in this busy season. And it's not that way.
It's not. Yeah.
And I feel like, that's why I know I'm blessed for our relationship, because you have gone with the flow. But that's not always the case.
Correct.
And a lot of people, when you're, especially if you're married or in a committed relationship, when things don't go your way, you either, like, there's like several things that you can do. You can either like hide and retreat, or you can attack and like be aggressive toward the other person when it's not their fault.
We ain't doing it. Like, we're not doing it.
I don't know what we're doing.
No, like this, you're not.
No, I'm not like attacking. I'm not retreating.
Yeah.
I don't know what I like, but I feel like that it ebbs and flows because certain days, like,
it's a lot. It's a lot for you, yes.
Yeah, so there's certain days when it's a lot, and I don't necessarily retreat, but I don't engage.
Correct.
Like, I'm like, listen, I just had a whole day of internship.
But the thing is, I understand it, and it's not like, I understand. Oh, sorry. I understand those days when you come in like that, and then it's just like I said. The good thing is that I've been able to, like I said, get the kids sleep. So even when you do come in, it's not something where you're, okay, I gotta get the kids to bed. No, I'm like, you can come in, get something to eat, go lay down, get ready for the next day.
Yeah.
So, and it's, again, it's not a problem. And I can, again, you did that for me for 9 years.
Yeah.
It was a little bit different with my schedule, but still, you did that for 9 years. I can go with the flow. You went with the flow for 9 years. I can go with the flow, so.
Yeah. It's just, even though we've said it, it's still not easy.
Oh, yeah, no,
because
by no means I'm not saying
I know, listen, Tuesdays, I just realized this past Tuesday. What? Well, when I was like, wait, I'm like legit like not gonna see my kids.
Oh yeah, you just said.
I don't see my kids at all on Tuesdays. And I'm like, wait, what? Like, that was like crazy to me, not realizing how I go a whole day living in the same house as my kids, but I don't actually see them for a whole day.
And that's kind of, like I said, that was basically what,
I know
that I was doing. I was seeing when I would drop them off, but it literally is, I would see them for 35 minutes because I'm getting them up in the morning and then taking them to school. Then I'm going to work.
Yeah, I don't get that 35 minutes though.
I know, but
that was so weird. I never realized how, like, I'm going a whole day. And so I guess the purpose of the episode is to really talk through, like, having expectations of even when you think that you're about to be like shoulder to shoulder in this fight, like against something, and it not looking the same, like the reality not being the same. How do you still maintain like connection and like engagement throughout all of that?
Okay, nice.
Because yeah, y'all, this is different. Like we thought we knew what we thought. Honestly, we thought we were prepared for this. And this is a whole beast.
You don't know what you don't know?
You don't know what you don't know until you get into it. And then you're like, okay, this is different. Because for some reason it never clicked that like I'll go a full day out of a whole week, like not seeing the kids. And then there is like literally days, even like when I'm home, like I'm busy going from one thing to the next. So where I have to be intentional about saying, hey, we said we're going to do devotional or we're just going to talk or whatever the case may be. Yeah. Like we have to still like be so intentional on making sure we're having that time together, because it can easily get away from you. With me working, with both of us working, I should say, you were coaching 2 sports. Yeah. Our oldest being in 2 sports.
Yes, yeah. So pretty much, I'll say like this. She's gone, but I'm coaching 3 times a week. But basically I have to drive my son to practice.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty much I'm doing stuff every day.
Right, because he's responsible for school drop-off, pickups, practice, and some of the practices he's actually having to conduct.
Yeah, and then we had some makeup games.
Makeup games during the week because of weather and because of schedules.
You couldn't make the game.
I couldn't make it, or you're having to host practice.
So I can't make
during another game. And so, y'all, this literally, I don't like living like that. But having a partner who accepts the idea of being flexible and knowing that you're in it together and you're not fighting each other. Yeah. Or that is like a relief, because that's not like another thing that I have to worry about. Like what I don't have to worry about, thank the Lord, is that he, like if Jay says something, I have to think, did he really mean it? Or is he upset? Like I don't have to try to figure out what kind of tone, like did he say something in? Or he said it, but then I'm gonna he's basically keeping track. You know, like there's we're keeping score. Gotcha. Like, oh, he gave in for this, so that means that I'm gonna have to give in later on something else because it's gonna come back. I don't have to worry about that. No. Literally, we have gotten to the point where we've built trust in each other, because one thing that I can do is trust the integrity of him. As him being the head of our household, as being my spouse, as being a father. Like, so when he says something, I don't have to second guess. Now, if there's something that he doesn't like, he's not disrespectful, but he'll be like, I want you to know I'm doing this. I don't like it, but I'm doing it, right? Like, I don't have to think deep into what he's saying, because he's going to be like, he's going to tell me. Yeah. And because of that, I can trust, like, I can be, like, honest. Like, when I came home the other day, I was just like, I actually didn't even have to say anything. He just knew by the way I was that I was depleted. I was just done.
And what did I say?
I don't even know. What did you say?
I literally said, just get your stuff and go to the room. That's literally what I said.
Yeah.
She came in the office and she was like, just get your stuff.
I was trying to figure out what to eat. I was like, I need to eat something. I don't want to eat nothing. I need to eat something.
Like I said,
I don't know if I'm going to eat.
again, I look at it like this, like, you know, when she came in that way, there's no need for me to jump down her throat about anything, you know. And again, I don't want to say that in a negative way, but I, you know, there's no need that I can physically see. Okay, she had a rough time, and even from the text message you gave me, I know it was a rough time. So I'm not gonna come in here as like, oh, we got to talk about this. No, I was like, just go to bed. Go get ready for the next day. Get your lunch. Just go ahead.
Yeah.
Like I said, we'll talk about it when we have the time. And like I said, we talked about it the next morning. We had a conversation.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's not. There's no need for me to, you know, elevate the stress that you already had for the entire day.
Right.
So.
And I think what we do well is we over communicate throughout the day.
Yeah.
It may not be like we're not like literally getting on the phone and like talking for long periods of time, but we're constantly texting or doing voice memos or something. Like there's a constant connection.
Correct.
So that you knew before I actually even came in what was upsetting me.
Correct.
Because I had already shot a text. I had shot several texts of what was upsetting me. I thought I was going to be in a better headspace to be able to talk about it that night. But when I came home, I was like, literally, I was just done. And so I was like, I didn't want to also bring that back up and then have me take it out on him. Yeah. Because it was still bothering me. So I knew that I was not in a position to bring it up without negatively affecting our relationship. It had nothing to do with him. Yeah. And I think that is what happens so often in relationships, especially when you're like working outside of the home or you're dealing with something external to the relationship. It's like something doesn't go your way or something frustrates you or you're fighting with someone else. And then you bring it home to the spouse and you take it out on the wrong people. Like you take it out on the kids because they was supposed to throw some away. They don't.
They didn't pick up their clothes.
Or they didn't pick up their clothes or they leaving their toys everywhere. And you're like, I'm tired of this. I constantly have to say, because listen, I do that. But when I do it, I'm like, let me get it together. Like, don't take my frustrations out on them when they had nothing to do with it. Yeah. But also being willing to apologize. Like,
that's good. No, that's good.
We always expect to, what I'm finding out, I gotta speak for myself. Okay. What I'm finding out as I'm entering into like internship and doing the clinicals and stuff, I deal a lot with my own like imposter syndrome. I don't know why we think that when we have kids, like that we know what we're doing. We have absolutely no idea. And yes, you might benefit from having like parents still around. God bless you. If that is your case, but it's still like the way they grew up versus how the time that you grew up is different than now. It's just different.
It is.
And so you are bound to make mistakes. You're bound to react instead of giving yourself that pause before saying anything. And apologizing to your kid does not show weakness. Apologizing, period, regardless of if it's to your kids or to your spouse, it is something that is needed because it shows that you are acknowledging that you made a mistake and that you're learning from that mistake. And that's what we need to do. Like, you're not going to be perfect. You're not going to always get it right. And it's okay to acknowledge when you mess up. Right. And also, too, it helps like just in being able to be transparent with your spouse. Like, if I think that I'm always right, I am coming across like I never apologize sincerely, and you're not going to open up to me because you're gonna be like, oh, she's just gonna judge me for whatever I say because she knows it all. She whatever.
Yeah, you don't need to. when you don't need to, like for me, I'm not going to continue to engage if you think you know everything, because okay, you know it all, cool. I'm just gonna leave you alone. Just not gonna try, because if you know anything I say is gonna be wrong.
Right. And
so I ain't got time for that.
I don't have time for that. But that is something that I've had to learn. Like, it's okay to apologize, especially with the kids, because it's a power thing, right? Because a lot of people believe that if you apologize, it's showing that you're weak. It's giving the kid power over, over the situation, and so far over you, which is also a detriment to a marriage, to a relationship, because you don't want to apologize because you don't want them to think that, oh, he think I'm weak. Oh, he thinks that he gonna think less of me. I gotta show him that I am independent. I got my own mind. I can do this. Like, it's just a negative thought cycle that you have to break, because that is not the case. Apologizing does not show weakness. It actually shows strength, that you're able to acknowledge your weaknesses, and when you make a mistake, and then be able to move forward past that.
I ain't got enough for it, because it's like what you said is basically just, like even just forgiving people.
Yeah.
Apologizing, that's not you being weak behind it, like you said. It's more the fact that you're acknowledging, yes, I have faults, I've done something wrong, and I'm going to apologize for what I've done. You can, and again, like we tell our kids, it's not, I'm saying I'm sorry is not an apology.
Right.
Because that's not acknowledging what you did.
Right.
You're just putting words to something, but not actually acknowledging what you're sorry for.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but with having being able to apologize, even just something as simple as, like I said, when you came in, you could have came in, stormed in, and then stormed out, and then. If I came in the room and you said, "Babe, I'm sorry for just walking in, walking out like that."
Yeah.
I didn't mean to do that. But just that little bit is acknowledging. Listen, that wasn't my intention.
Right.
That wasn't my intention. I did it and I apologize for it, but I'll make sure I won't do that again.
Right. Didn't I do something? It might not have been that day.
No, you did.
I did something.
You did something that day, but I just, like I said, I knew what your day was like,
But yeah, and I didn't immediately apologize that day. I feel like it was the next day. It was that night. That night was a mess. But I did something. I think I snapped about something.
When you came, you snapped. That's when I said go. I said just go get ready.
But what was it about?
I don't remember. I don't remember.
I came into the office and something wasn't right, or I felt like something wasn't right, and I snapped. But I didn't immediately apologize. I do remember the next day, because I was like, I apologized for snapping. I do remember I apologized for snapping because I was immediately, I had reacted to the situation immediately instead of taking a beat to try to get understanding of what was going on.
Yeah.
But I was already in that sleep deprived.
And when you sleep deprive, your actions.
Well, it's like you only last so long.
You react
exactly. You only last so long.
Yeah.
So that's why I say a lot of people are like, oh, I only need a couple of hours of sleep. You're lying. Your body needs the time to recover from the previous day's like wear and tear, because your brain needs the time. And that's why I was like, I am a detriment not only to myself, but to my clients, and to my family, and to my husband when I go multiple nights of not getting enough sleep.
Yeah.
Because you're not clear-headed, and the moment you get sleep, you'll realize, oh, I should have handled this situation different. Oh, I should have said this instead of that. Oh, I should have offered this. Oh, that's what they were trying to say. Like, you get more insight because you have given your brain time to recover from all of the wear and tear that we are putting on our bodies.
So the way you said that, it made me think of, for instance, like when it's foggy outside. That's literally when you just said that. If it's foggy outside, you get in your car, a lot of times the window is fogged up. Mm-hmm. You need some time to allow that fog to dissipate, So that's why I was thinking of that, because like you're just running,
yes,
and you're not getting that time to let that film or whatever you want to call that fog to clear up, so that you can see clearly. But if you continue just to keep running or not turn on the defroster, you're going to be literally just like smacking into stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I mean, it literally, got to a point the other night. What was the one night I was just like, I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm going to bed. Mm-hmm. Because I could not, I couldn't do basic stuff.
No, that was last week.
It was last week when I was just like, I can't. It
was last week because you was typing something on your computer and I was like, go to bed. And then you was like, you just looked at me and I was like, go to bed.
No, this is hilarious. It was literally me writing a caption.
Yes.
For one of our podcast episodes.
Yeah.
And usually I do those because I'm like, I have all the thoughts and stuff.
Yeah.
It was like, this is part 2. Check it out.
And the funny thing is she gave it to me in the bed and she was like, oh yeah, check that out. Like she slid it like she was confident.
I did.
And I was like, go to bed. I just close the bed.
This is
She's like,
got.
no, I'm official. No, just close it, go to bed. I was like, because you're not, that really doesn't say anything.
It didn't say nothing. It said part 2. Check it out.
So.
And now I was like, I gotta go to sleep. Because literally I had nothing. But then the next day, once I got some sleep,
you wrote it.
I was like, and I was able to write out like a meaningful caption.
Yeah.
But you have to give your body time to rest, and you have to be able to say no. Like, I feel like we're in this season of truly having to say no, so that we can say yes to things that are really are truly that we're prioritizing. I don't think we did well on saying no on the events that we hosted, but. We both agreed this was too much.
Oh yeah,
and we said we're not gonna do this again because literally 3 back to back weekends of truly hosting an event, because literally they've been events.
Yes,
is way too much, especially in the middle of school's ending. So all the activities there, and then we still have sports and the makeups, and then me in school, then me doing clinicals and working, us working. It was just a lot. And so we realized that, yes, that was not very wise, but
we learned from it.
We learned. Yes, we learned. Because honestly, it wasn't even supposed to be 3 whole things.
No, it wasn't.
But it was supposed to be 2 whole things.
It was 2. It was supposed to be 2.
It's supposed to be 2 whole things.
Yeah.
But we identified and we agreed that we were doing too much and that we can't do this again.
Yeah.
And we're learning.
And we need a break.
We need a break.
We need a break. So that's why, that's the other reason too. So.
Well, I mean, we did it to ourselves. That's what's so crazy. We literally did it to ourselves. So yeah, we're literally just trying to get through this quarter.
Yeah.
And then that was even another thing, us learning what doing clinicals would mean and look like. Mm-hmm. We were both naive about the time commitment associated with that. Mm-hmm. And like I said, we're learning. I think now we're just trying to finish finish this quarter so that we can start next quarter off refreshed and better. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's literally but we have become okay. We become okay with things not going according to plan. Mm-hmm. Because I feel like that is where we are. We're in that season of having plans. Like, we have our plans, God has his plans, and then there's reality. Because God gives us the ability to make choices. So it's like we try to influence his plans based on the choices that we make, and then which results in our reality. And our reality is so different than what we planned.
So, for instance, and I said this earlier, that I actually literally wrote I did a little, I call it B-side conversation. I'm sitting in the car talking.
Okay.
And literally that's what it was. And it hit me while I was going to the store. I was going to the store and it literally hit me like, wait a second. Like, because again, we was planning our daughter's birthday party.
Yes.
It was supposed to be outside.
Yes.
You know, it said forecast, it was supposed to rain. It was supposed to rain from 1 to 1:30.
Light showers.
When I mean it started raining at 9 o'clock and it did not end until 4:30. About 4:30.
Yeah.
And
it took a break.
It took a break and then it went on for another like hour and then the sun started coming out about 6:30.
Had the audacity to come out.
Like, so it was like, you know, and like as I'm driving, I'm just thinking like, man, I was like, living in Texas teaches you about life. And I'm like,
it does.
Because, you know, you can have, like I said, the day before, it was nice outside.
It was so nice.
It was nice. There was a little breeze here and there. I was like, oh, this is nice. Tomorrow's going to be good. And no, it didn't happen. So it was like, you know, and my question was, you know, in this, when you're in a storm, what do? Do you sit in a storm or do you learn to pivot? And that's pretty much what we've been doing.
Yes.
You know, we've been pivoting, you know, with work, from work to go to your internship, you know, getting a second, like, it's just, we've been just pivoting. And again, it's, you know, we've always had a way, not say always had a way, but we've always been able to pivot to still enjoy and do what we have to do and not be able to just be like, oh, and just be sulking in the things that we can't do, that because something else out of our control. You know, so it's like, you know, and again, it's...
Well, and some of it's been in our control, but overthinking. But one thing I will say that we're really good at, especially now, is keeping the main thing the main thing.
Oh, yeah.
So what is the bigger picture? What is our goal? And that's why it's so important for you to get in alignment with each other, alignment and in agreement with each other on what your goals are. So that when things don't look like they're supposed to look, you're still able to pivot and you're still able to keep the main thing. So back to the example where that Jay was talking about the birthday party. Because we have 3 kids, we rotate who has the big birthday party, like actual party. This year was our daughter's. She said she wanted 2 things. She just wanted a pool party and she wanted her hair done, her hair braided. We were able to make both things work. But then, like we've already said, when we throw up an event, we like to throw an event. So because it's a pool party, I had planned for everything to be hosted outside. So that way I don't have to clean up my house because we're just going to be like in the kitchen dining area to eat, but everything's going to be outside. Like literally everything was in place. Had everything covered. And then rain was in the forecast, supposed to be light showers. But then the skies opened up in the morning and it clearly ran all day.
All day long,
And now I have to, but also too, this is another thing that we were good at. We kept the main thing that she's going to have a good time. She's going to have a party. We never said we were going to cancel the party.
Correct.
We were just like, what do we need to do to bring the party inside? Do we have backup plans? And just what can we do to make sure that she still have a party? But also too, it was in our mentality and our response to the trial.
Correct.
Because I did have a moment, but I had that moment in my room. In my bed, before I even got out, I said, why is it so dark outside? Literally, I woke up and I was like, why is it still dark? Like, it should not be this dark.
Because it was dark.
Because it was dark. And so, and I go to the window and I see, and I'm like, oh, it's going to rain. And then I'm like, it's supposed to be this thing. But I had my moment with Jay. Mm-hmm. Kids didn't know anything.
And it's okay to have the moment.
And
but don't
you need
stay
to
in that.
have that moment. You need to have that moment.
Don't
because
stay there.
if you try to cover it up, then it's going to come out. And it's going to come out in a bigger, like, more visible way.
Yeah.
So I was able to have my moment. I was able then to be like, to literally, I mean, I'm going to use this word, but it's a different type of grief. But I was able to grieve the thought, like grieve the idea of the party that I was trying to throw for my daughter. Because I had these grand ideas. But still say, she's still gonna have a great party. What do I now need to do to make sure that she has a good party? And what can I bring inside? Yeah. And then it also didn't help because some of the moms were texting like, oh, is the party still going on? Whatever. And then literally, but the way that I responded also gave our daughter like the example on how she was to respond. Because I will tell you this, our oldest was being a jerk.
He was.
He was like, "What? No party for you. It's raining. You're not going in the pool." Yeah. I was like, "Sir, keep your comments to yourself if you're not going to be positive." And I was like, she's going to have a party. It's going to look different than what we have planned. Yeah. But she's still going to have a party. She's still going to have a good time. And when I say them kids came up in here, they tore the house up. But did I stress? Nope.
They tore it up.
Did they have a great time?
Yes, they did.
Did they eat up a lot of stuff? Yes.
Yes. All the food, all the chicken.
All the chicken.
Because I didn't get none.
All the sweets, all the everything. Because it was all about just spending time with each other and just getting to hang out and not getting, like, they didn't know if I had 2 games, 3 games, 10 games. Yeah. They didn't care. Oh. We were only able to really do one of the things. And then they were like, can we go outside and swim? I said, y'all, it's still sprinkling. We're going to be mermaids. And mermaids get wet. Mermaids can swim in the rain. I said, well, listen, as long as there's no lightning, let's do it. Yeah. But it was all in just having fun and living in the moment. Yeah. But being able to do that and being able to be the example for our daughter and for her to still be excited, because at first she was starting to get sad. Like I said, our oldest was being a jerk. Keep him in your prayers. She was like, well, can we play the Little Mermaid soundtrack? I was like, yes. Yeah. So we cut the music on and we finished preparing and setting up. And like I said, everybody had a great time. And to the point where, there's like the kids' birthday party and then there's the adults party.
Yeah, we play spades after.
Exactly. So then like our friends were there.
Play some spades,
we bust our cards, play spades and all the things. And so it really turned into like a really just great day in general. But it was because we were able to pivot because we kept the main thing the main thing. Correct. That was a very long story to say that. It was we kept the main thing the main thing. Even in this season, we're keeping the main thing the main thing. Yes, you will get frustrated along the way. Yes, you will have to grieve certain parts of things not going your way or not looking how you want it to look or not being as fulfilling as you thought it was going to be. Listen, I know it. Like, we're experiencing it all right now, but we're still keeping the main thing the main thing. Correct. There are goals that we have identified for not just like us individually, but for us as a couple, as a family, and we're going to keep going forward on that. Correct. Knowing that right now, if things are crazy or things are not looking like they like we would want them to look, but we're willing to do the work together against whatever trial or tribulation that comes our way. That was a very churchy word. Sorry. But anything that comes our way, we're willing to face it together to overcome it in order to keep our goal, our shared goal in mind. And then also too, we're being extra honest. Nah, I wouldn't say extra honest, but we're being honest with each other in this time.
Yeah.
Like when there's moments where I just feel like, I feel like we're disconnected. I would say, but like, I feel like, yeah, something's off. What do we need to do?
Yeah.
Like, because it was like that one day when we did, because usually we were trying to pray together before, I don't know, that day, that was when I was picking up the extra day in the office. So yeah, so usually my work from home day, we would pray, and we didn't get a chance to do that because it was just ripping and running again. And so I was like, something's off. To the point where I was like, before I see my first client, I'm gonna call you. Yeah. And I was like, we're gonna have to pray. We're gonna have to pray over the phone, whatever, but we're gonna have to pray because something is not right. Yeah. And I can't go into this session knowing that something's off between us. Because although I'm not going to intentionally bring that into the therapy room, but it will impact me if that's still kind of like in the back of my head. Yeah. And then we prayed, and I had like one of the best sessions I had with that client.
Yep.
Actually, the best session that I've had with that client. So yeah, so this one I'm like, we've just been able to be honest and speak our truth of like, hey, I think something's off, or we need to just say no to the kids, and just be like, y'all, mommy and daddy need this time. We've also started a new show together. That show will hopefully we can avoid all the spoilers because it's gonna take us a minute. So yeah, because we started this new show. Yeah. It's good, but at the rate that we can actually watch it together, it's gonna be very slow. But we're gonna do it. We're just gonna try to avoid all of the major spoilers.
I really haven't been on Instagram or Facebook, social media.
I have. Some people have been talking about it, but usually when they bring it up, I just be like,
Yeah, I haven't.
I just don't look.
So
yeah. So hopefully you found something useful out of that.
Yeah. Like again, I'll say it like this. You know, as you was talking, I was laughing, mainly because the same thing that we experienced on Sunday is the same thing we was telling our son on Saturday.
Which son?
Aiden.
Oh.
The oldest.
Okay.
About basketball, because he was getting frustrated with the refs. And I had to pull him off and I say, listen, you need to get it together. Because simple fact is, let me deal with the refs. I need you to go out there and play. Focus on,
what you can control.
I say, focus on what you control, what you can't control, and focus on getting your team involved. And I was like, they're gonna go the way you go. So if you're going that way, they're gonna go that way. So I was like, so I need you to get it together. Like I told him, I pulled him, set him, I said, okay, I need you to get whatever you have out. Because when you go back, I said, I'm not gonna put you back in there until your head's ready to play the game. Yeah. And that's the same thing as like literally what you said is like I had to tell him that the day before, not knowing how it was gonna be the next day. Yeah. But we did the same exact thing, meaning not like what he got frustrated, but you was able to get everything that you needed out, and then all right, let's get going to what we got to do. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Yes. So. Like I'm good, y'all. I'm just saying. Listen. For those of y'all who are going to get like masters and doctorates, I applaud you. If you're married, if you have a family, it's tough, man. It's hard work. And I thought I was prepared, and I'm not. but God, okay? But God. But yeah, it's
that's where
it's like, a lot. It's a lot.
We have our plan from here to here. We think we're gonna go like this, but God said, nope. You can go down. You can go up. You can go like this, and you're gonna finish though.
I get it. I think though I have. You know me. I had thought about some of those. So mine maybe were not as sharp as what we're experiencing. Yeah. I thought, we're going to ebb and flow with it. No, we're like, and I'm like, like, I don't like roller coasters anymore. Yeah. I'm too old for that. So I'm trying to to adjust and stuff. But yeah, that's all I got. I don't have. What is our marriage advance tip?
We kind of said it.
I was just saying keep the main thing the main thing.
You literally just said keep the main thing the main thing. You know, if you feel like you guys are getting off track, just remember what you guys are focusing on.
Right.
You know, don't worry about the outside noise. Let's hone back in. Let's hone back in on what we talked about, what we decided, which direction we're going. Yes. Because the outside noise is always going to get you going in the different directions. So.
Correct. And even in your frustration, you got to be respectful in your communication. Yeah. Because that's just going to compound the problem. If you come in hot-headed, if you come in hot. And yeah, so you still got to be respectful, even in the frustration. But over-communication will get you where you're going, where you need to go. But you got to be respectful in it. Yep. That's the only thing I would add. Okay.
All right. Well, like, follow, share, subscribe. You know, leave us a comment what you guys think about the episode. You know, go check out some old episodes.
Yes.
You know, I think that's it.
Oh, because remember, the real work begins at I do. All right. Until next week. Peace.